Alright, we just cut a Schlage key to all ones and we're measuring it. We're doing this to do space and depth adjustment. And we see that it is measuring out to 0.308. Alright, so let's say we want to do a space and depth adjustment. Obviously we can't add to the key, so to illustrate this we will minus from the key. So in the computer, in the software, we'll go to Operations at the top, Space and Depth Adjustment, and there's a Schlage key that uses jaw 2, so press jaw 2, press OK, or press enter. And here for the cutter, that would be the depth. So notice here that the depth, if we put in a minus number, that'll take more off the key, and if we have a positive number, that will leave more on the key. So let's just, for illustration purposes, minus 10. So the key should go from 308 to 298. So hit update, update in progress. And same can be done with spacing also. Alright, now press enter and then put the key back in, and we're going to hit start. Oh, looks like a different one.
To show the difference in the depths.
Alright, so now we're going to, on the one, measure one of the ones. Alright, there it is, 298. It took 10 off. So that's how you do the space and depth adjustment. And that we showed the depth, but the same is for spacing. You would just adjust the spacing if the spacing were off. And if you can measure the spacing by use the plunge cut and put like a 3 in the middle, and then you'll be able to measure the spacing. Go ahead and measure the spacing to that. This is how you would go about measuring spacing. So you measure from the shoulder to the cut, and that's how that goes. Another easy way to measure the spacing is to just figure out what a 3 is supposed to be on its spacing, and by going to File, Edit, and here we have 3 spacing is 0.543, so set the calipers to 0.543. Alright, there it is, and then lock the caliper in place, and then put the caliper up to the measurement and see if it looks good. So it looks like ours might be off a little bit, so let's see if we can fix it. Oh no.
It's a shoulder stop.
It's a shoulder stop. He was trying to do a tip stop, never mind. So here we are measuring from shoulder to the cut, and that looks good. Alright. But if it were off, you would figure out how much by adjusting. So let's say it looked off, you would just kind of measure how off it was and just see if you can figure out what it is. And here I've made 10, so like if it were off 10, you would make that adjustment. Minus number for spaces. Let's see, space and depth adjustment, 2, press OK. Right, so you'll notice here the plus will go more towards the shoulder of that Schlage key, whereas if you were to minus a number, it would go more towards the tip. So if it were off and we wanted it to go more towards the tip, all the spacing, then we would say something like minus 10, and it would minus 10,000ths of an inch move all the spaces towards the tip of the key. Otherwise, if you were to just put 10, it it would move 10 thousandths toward the shoulder of the key. And that's all.